And for more personal reasons, Mario Galaxy was the very first game that I ever played in my life, so it would just be amazing if I could take it wherever I want. Okay, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, yes! Hello everyone, LunarDave here, and man oh man, it finally happened. Super Mario 3D All-Stars is finally out, and today I just want to give my own personal first impressions of the game, and how I feel about the game as a whole. I won't be going over too much over the game, because I have more plans with the game, but I hope this will give you guys a good idea on whether or not I like this game or not, and also if it's worth it. To start things off, let's give a quick little overview on what the game has to offer. The game comes with 3 classic 3D Mario games, with 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy. Galaxy 2 unfortunately isn't in the game, which I very much care about, and I'm very triggered by it not being included. I'll have to boycott Nintendo to show my anger. The best part, they don't have to. Well, regardless, these 3 games altogether make an excellent package. And if you've never played even one of these games before, this is definitely worth the purchase. Although, I do imagine getting a physical copy could be hard for some people, especially with the fear of it being a limited release. Though, Nintendo has done this before with All-Stars on the Wii, and they re-released it after a few years, so if you missed the game, maybe there is some hope to get the game after? As for myself, I managed to day one purchase the game at my local Target, even getting the Super Mario 3D All-Stars magnet set. Regardless, the first thing I should talk about this game is that it came with a really cool looking box art with the inside cover showing us screenshots of the games included. The cartridge looks good, though the OCD inside me is not liking how the logo is off-center. Apparently the Hong Kong release doesn't have this issue, but I can excuse the off-center logo because of the ESRB being in the way. As for the game itself, once again, you get 3 of Mario's best 3D adventures, and this is honestly really exciting for me. I never played 64 or Sunshine before I got this copy. I mean, I did briefly play them beforehand, but they were barely over a few minutes, so can I really count that? But yeah, this is technically going to be my first true experience of these games, basically blind. I am actually going to look at each of these games and making a review video for all 3 of them. This is a huge undertaking though, especially with me having so many other projects currently still in the oven, and me being at my first year at college now. So I hope you guys can be patient with that. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you guys will know when these videos come out. I really think a review of these games without any nostalgia goggles will be pretty interesting, since most reviews I've seen of the game are made by people who have played these games forever now. Though, I should warn you that my Galaxy review might just be me gushing about the game. I do think I should address a few things about this collection, since a lot of people are already talking about these issues to death, and I thought I'd throw my own 2 cents into the mess that it already is. I think the 2 major issues people bring up is the price and limited release of this game. Also, I should probably mention on how people don't like how it's not a full remaster like the Crash and Spyro remasters. So, let's start at the price. Personally, I think the package is worth it. For me. I can totally see why some people think this isn't worth it at all. For me, the value of getting Super Mario Galaxy on the Switch with 2 other classic games that I've never really tried out is an experience worth $60. For people that already played these games, however, I can see why they don't see as much value in that. Each of these games physically totals out over $60, which to me is another reason why I'm alright with the price. But then again, you can pull the argument of how similar collections like Rare Replay has 30 games, and the value of each of those games separately totals to a price that's pretty high. Personally, I find more value in Mario games, far more than Rare's titles, since I never really grew up with Rare. So I think the main question of whether you should buy it or not should come down to how much you value each of these games. Alright, let's get into the limited release thing. Again, earlier in my video I mentioned how Nintendo did the exact same thing with the Wii release of All Stars, and of course they re-released it a few years later. But that release also had extra goodies, which makes it at least more of a limited edition I think for most people. Personally, I think Nintendo sees 3D All-Stars on its own to be a fantastic deal for a limited edition, which is why they didn't put as much extra content, I think. Regardless, it sucks for people who won't be able to get it for a good price once the game is no longer going to be sold, physically or digitally. But for now, that isn't an issue that affects me. However, just because something doesn't affect me doesn't mean other people don't have the issue. Looking at you, my non-drifting Joy-Cons. As for the whole remaster debacle, I personally would have preferred to have the games be in their original state anyway, with some subtle improvements to be able to play well on modern systems, which Nintendo mostly has done a great job on. Although there are some stuff going on with some sort of debug texture in Sunshine, I think, that relates to a bug with how the game's emulated, and maybe a few other things could have been added like widescreen support for 64. The 30 frames per second thingy is alright to me, probably because that's what they originally were and there seems to be less slowdown in 64 anyway. Regardless, that is all I have to say for today. If you guys enjoyed what I thought about the collection, don't forget to hit the like button, and also, I noticed that most of you peeps don't seem to subscribe when you watch my videos, which I can think of a few reasons why. But regardless, we can definitely get that number higher, so subscribe and hit that bell to also again be able to get notified when I get the review videos I'm planning on. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys sometime soon. Bye, Pia!